On October 3rd through October 5th, the entire debate world comes together for 3 nights, 1 platform, 1 spectacle. This is not just another debate event. This is the grandest stage of them all. Debate Mania is the premier event in the debate community, the Super Bowl of intellect, the WrestleMania of words. The brightest minds, the fiercest rivalries, the biggest stakes. Here, champions are made, legacies are written, and only the sharpest minds survive. Debate Mania is the grandest stage of intellect. 2 voices, 2 visions, 1 destiny. For generations, the fight for black liberation has taken many forms. But at Debate Mania, the battle is not fought with fists. It is fought with ideas. In one corner, the pseudo-Hunter Heru conscious, a fearless atheist, a relentless skeptic. He believes Pan-Africanism is an outdated ideology. And at Debate Mania, she plans to prove it. But standing in his way is the champion, the defender of the people, the voice of pride, power, and Pan-African unity. Super Pan Man, the Pan-African atheist. 2 giants of thought, 2 unstoppable forces. 1 collision that will shake the foundations of the Versus series. This is more than a debate. This is the main event. This is Debate Mania. Only on Paradigm Shift TV 314. Be there for this historic 3-night event.
Anything to assassinate my character. What that showed me, remember this lack of a conscience when I come out. Remember this lack of mercy when I come out. Niggas is hypocrites. So, okay, you want to see some macho shit? I'm the most macho nigga out here. I thought you niggas knew. I'm the most thuggest nigga out here. I have no motherfucking fear. I have no fear. I have only ambition, and I want mine. And I will do anything to protect and feed my family. And these niggas represent a threat. Because I worked too hard on this.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.
I'm back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did the for my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get on my God, I might tell them it's nothing. In the discussion, got them feelings I throw on my pain on percussion. It's disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you on my spot at the feast. I've been on go mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty talking about old. I'm on they now, can't get a pass now. I'm a cash cow, keeping it brash now. Trash now, I'ma pass out. I've been killing my lows and living on highs. You see in the skies the proof. You could just see in my eyes that there is no lies. I cannot disguise the truth. I've been duck dog getting to my new merch, colored duck sauce on the new couch with my Chuck on. Get the
All right. Welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother DMG, the poet, aka Brother Pianki, and we have a powerful versus series debate for you. But as y'all know, before we get into our spiel, I gotta do my spiel. So allow me to say hotep to my Kemetic brothers and sisters. Shout out to my man Metu Hotep Jallo, repatriating to Nigeria. Let me say God bless to all my Christian brothers and sisters. Let me say shalom to all my Israelite brothers and sisters. Shout out to the anonymous Hebrew and Captain K. Allow me to say assalamu alaikum to all my brothers and sisters in the NOI. Salute to my brother Khalil Shabazz. Let me say Islam to all my Moorish brothers and sisters. Shout out to Apollo Bay. Let me say peace to all my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earth and 5%ers. Big salute to my brother, the God body, Marlon Simmons. Let me say what's up to all my atheist brothers and sisters. Shout out to the champ of champs, my man Pandamus. Let me say what's up to all my Ambo brothers and sisters. Salute to all my Naga brothers and sisters, them electromagnetic messiahs. Shout out to all my Owaspi brothers and sisters, Creator Gang. Last and certainly not least, I want to say Jumbo to all the rest of my brothers and sisters all throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you're Black, I'm with you, and I hope you with me. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting. We can have truth. We can have truth. We can have unity and a little bit of truth. We can't have unity without uniformity, and we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. With that being said, this is the social media tournament semifinal. We got my man Michael Everett, my brother KOT. KOT just dropped off. Hopefully the brother will be back. So Mike, I'm going to let you open up with your 3-minute opening, and then we'll wait for our brother KOT to get reconnected. So the time will start when you start.
Okay, give me just a moment here.
And we got our brother back. KOT, give me a quick sound check.
Shalom, fam. Peace and blessings.
Yep, you good. All right, Mike, let me know when you're ready.
All right, let's go ahead and kick this off, man.
Time starts.
All right, first and foremost, I want to say peace and welcome to everybody in the chat, and thank everybody for showing up here this evening. Hopefully, me and the brother KOT do some justice tonight, and we can give you a presentation that's really worth something. All right, so first and foremost, I want to start off by talking about some of my favorite things to do, which is defining terminologies. All right, so let's start with some basic stuff just so we can make sure that it's a little bit easier to digest for the crowd. All right, so first off, we want to start with the definition of singularity. A singularity is a state where the universe is thought to have been compressed into an infinitely small, dense, and hot point. All right, quarks are subatomic particles carrying a fractional electric charge, postulated as the building blocks of hadrons. And gluons are fundamental massless particles that are carried along the strong nuclear force. It binds quarks together and it forms particles like protons and neutrons. All right, leptons are a type of elementary particle that does not act through the strong nuclear force. All right, but there are 6 types of leptons. There's the electron, there's the muon, there's the tauon, and each one of these have a corresponding electrically neutral charge. All right, that's the electron neutrino, the muon neutrino, and the tau neutrino. All right, and gravity is, of course, defined as the fundamental force of attraction between 2 objects with mass or energy. All right, and the strong nuclear force is the most powerful of the four fundamental forces of nature, responsible for holding atomic nuclei together by binding quarks with protons and neutrons, and also binding protons and neutrons to form
1 minute.
is itself. All right. The weak nuclear force is responsible for changing one type of subatomic particle from one state into the next, such as beta decay, where a neutron becomes a proton, and nuclear fusion in stars. Electromagnetism is a fundamental force of nature that explains the interaction between electrically charged particles through electric and magnetic fields. All right, and I hope I gave you enough information for you to be able to follow along during this demonstration. And with that, I can see my time.
Right. All right. And I'll remove you from the solo and get my brother KOT up here. KOT, time is reset to 3 minutes.
I'm gonna need to share my screen, brother. I need to share my screen.
And you want to share your screen in the open?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me remove you down. Let me know when it's up. All right. And the time will start when you start.
Okay. Intelligent design versus Big Bang, family. Now, the idea behind it is that the Big Bang says it comes into existence without any intelligence behind it, any designer. And that is the real advocate between these two intellects. And I will show you that intelligent design is more logical for our people to understand. But first, in my first run, I will be going over intelligent design, calm.org. The term intelligent design, ID, refers to the scientific position that certain observable aspects of the natural world, especially but not limited to particularly complex biological systems, are best explained as the result of an intelligent cause. And I will be going through that in my opening, in my first round, family. I'll be showing and going over several different scholars, and by their research and their studies in the scientific field, how they come to the conclusion that there is an intelligent designer behind the creation of our world. But intelligent design proponents reach this conclusion first by observing features in nature that bear the distinctive marks we know to be associated with intelligence. And I will be going over that, dealing with biology, and with no other causes. And I told my brother I'll read a scripture. We see Proverbs 3:19 tells us, the Most High by wisdom has founded the earth, and by understanding hath he established the heavens. So we're dealing with intelligence. By his knowledge, the depths are broken up, and clouds drop the dew. So these elements are given their intelligence that they're designed to do by the Most High, because he's an intelligence. But I'm dealing with the scientific field, so I'll be going to biological systems. A biological system is an intricate network of interconnected living organisms and their interactions that work together as a cohesive unit. The brain, the thyroid, lung, heart, and intestines, family. They're put together by an intelligence, not just some random cause. It's just natural selection, an accident. That's what the Big Bang would bring to you. But in my second round, I will be going over the Big Bang, showing how it is flawed in its theory. Richard Connick.
1 minute.
I'll give you
1 minute.
I'll give you a brief aspect over the Big Bang. It tells us the universe is formed over a caliber number of stars contained within billions of galaxies. It tells us when a powerful explosion occurred, the Big Bang, the primordial explosion released innumerable amounts of energy. And it tells us after 300,000 years, so we see the Big Bang is literally evolution. Then it tells us 9 billion years later, the galaxies existed and formed. And then we have something called the biological Big Bang, which Darwin's evolution theories connects to. During the Permian period, it's when the dinosaur creatures, they evolved during this period of this cataclysm of volcanic activity. So you really can't separate these theories but by their doctrines. So I'll be dealing with the Big Bang theory, showing you how it is flawed and how we have an intelligent designer behind our creation of this world. And I'll end it there, family. Hallelujah.
All right. Brother ended it with 1 second to spare. And who Who was the affirmative and who was the negative in this debate?
Not really sure how we're looking at it, but he can go first if his brother wants to.
He was actually the affirmative taking intelligent design, and I'm going to be going second.
Okay, well, we can do it that way.
Okay, that'll work. And so, for those who don't know, with the brother being affirmative, he'll be going first in the round section. Then when we get to the chin check session, when we get to the Q&A, he will be going second. So he's going first in the rounds. When we get to the chin check session, he will be going last. So he will be asking Mike questions last. The time is set for 10 minutes. Will you be sharing your screen?
Yes, I'll be sharing my screen, brother. Give me one moment. Okay, my screen should be up, brother, if you can see it. Can you hear me, brother?
All right, screen is shared. Time will start when you start.
Okay. Let's get into this, family. Intelligent design is what I'll be going over first. And I will start off with Fred Hoyle. June 24th, 1915, was an English astronomer who formulated the theory of stellar nucleosynthesis and was one of the authors of the influential B2FH paper. So he's a great scholar in this field of science, family, and he's an astronomer. What do we find out? My reference, which is NewYorkTimes.com, it tells us Sullivan W. Fred Hoyle dies at 86, opposed Big Bang, but named it. So we find out this scholar actually named the Big Bang. But what else do we find out? Fred Hoyle stated a common sense interpretation of the facts suggests that a super intelligent has monkeyed with physics. So he's telling us that a super intellect has monkeyed with the physics after going over the research in his field, as well as with chemistry and biology. This is what he comes to the conclusion of when you go over the facts, and that there are no blind forces we're speaking about in nature. So he's saying there's no Big Bang, and he's the one that coined the phrase Big Bang, family. And what else do we find out? Hoyle, an atheist. This scholar, this astronomer is actually an atheist, but due to his smart intelligence, he comes to the conclusion, observing the facts, that there's a super intellect that has created this universe, that's put the intelligence behind these organisms. Using his famous quote to express his disbelief in the origin of complex life and the universe arising by chance, comparing it to a tornado sweeping through a junkyard, assembling a Boeing 747. So I want you to imagine that, family. I give you billions of years to imagine it happens. A tornado goes through a junkyard. This is what Fred Hoyle said. And by going through that junkyard, all of a sudden, it puts together a 747, family. Do you think that's possible? He's correlating that to the Big Bang. After going over the facts, he knows that there's a super intellect, him being an atheist and a very smart man, as we see. We're going to go over Nobel Prize winner Charles Towns on evolution, intellect, design, and the meaning of life. What do we find out about him? We go to newsarchive.berkeley.edu. He's a Baptist preacher and a Berkeley physicist. And yet, according to Charles Hart Towns, winner of a Nobel Prize in physics and a UC Berkeley professor in the graduate school. So we're not dealing with pseudos. He tells us they are united by similar goals. Science seeks to discern the laws and order of our universe. Religion to understand the universe's purpose and meaning and how humankind fits into both. Let's continue, family. Towns sat down one morning recently to discuss how these and other way questions have shaped his life and their role in current controversies over physical education. So he's asked a question, family. And this is the question. It says, if science and religion share a common purpose, why have the proponents tend to be at longer headed throughout history? Now we're going to go through this thesis, but you can go through the research paper. I gave you the scholarship of it. It tells us, but science has been digging deeper and deeper. And as it has been done so particularly in the basic sciences like physics and astronomy, we have begun to understand more. So through the development of these technologies we have in physics and sciences and through astronomy, we've begun to understand more, as what it's telling us. We have found that the world is not deterministic. Quantum mechanics has revolutionized physics by showing that things are not completely predictable, which is in natural selection, Darwin's theory. That doesn't mean that we just found where God comes in. but we know that things are not as predictable as we thought, and that things we don't understand. This is what he's telling us as a Nobel Prize winner physicist. He tells us, for example, we don't know what some 95% of the matter in the universe is. We can't see it. It's neither atom nor molecule, apparently. We think we can prove it's there. We see its effect on gravity, but we don't know what and where it is, family, other than broadly scattered around the universe. And that's very strange. This is what he tells us, showing us that there's an intelligent design behind this, but he's letting us know that they don't even know what these things are. 95% of matter in the universe, but they're giving us the theory of Big Bang. Now I'm going to go to the National Institute of Health.gov. It tells us neurosurgeon Wilder Penfield, family, he conducted awake brain surgeries where he stimulated specific cortical areas in conscious patients, but he found he could not invoke mind action, such as agency, will, abstract, or thought. So he constructed this experiment while these patients were awake, testing on their brains to see if the conscious was literally a part of this brain. But he finds out he couldn't evoke mind action, such as agency, will, or abstract thought, concluding that these phenomena were not solely located in the stimulated parts of the brain. This is what he came to the conclusion of his research. While he could elicit movements, sensations, and even forgotten memories, patients always felt movements were imposed by
5 minutes.
Not self-initiated. So they always knew when he were imposing the movements on them. He never could touch their consciousness, leading Penfield to believe that the will, let me move this out my way, fam. Leading Penfield to believe that the will or mind was not purely physical or material entity. So he found out that the mind was not connected to the brain as a material. It was actually a separate thing of consciousness. Now we go to National Library of Medicine. We found out the concept of intelligent design was proposed in 1996 by biochemist Michael Behe in his book Darwin's Black Box, The Biochemical Challenge to Evolution. Behe claimed to have discovered an ironclad proof for the existence of a supernatural being, whom he called the intelligent designer. His studies of the living cell, family, led Behe to conclude that Darwinism, evolution, cannot explain many biochemical reactions that take place in the cell. Only ID can. So he said only intelligent design can describe this to us. And what do we find out, family? We get into this field of biology. It's for creation research. It tells us with the development of molecular biology since the time of Operum and Haldane, which is a theory, the cell is no longer regarded as simple. It's what they used to call it. The living plasma membrane allows in and out only specific compounds. It is not simply a semi-permeable membrane. Cells contain nucleic acids that carry information. So they found out that these things carry intelligence. This is not natural selection. It says about the structure and functions of the organism. They also contain ribosomes where proteins are made up using complex mechanisms of nucleic acids. And more than 100 different proteins, each with a specific task. They found out intelligence caused this. The cell also contains mitochondria where energy, ATP, is produced. The complexity of all these parts of the cell is enormous. Lynn Margulis has suggested that the first protocell assimilated these organelles by a process of symbiosis. However, these components cannot now exist independently, nor could the cell exist without the contributions. Moreover, one such type of organelle, known as a lysosome, contains enzymes whose function is to digest foreign bodies. With all the amazingly complex, is what they're telling you, family, mutually dependent components, it seems that the cell had to be complete from the beginning, rather than being assembled piecemeal over years of evolution. So we find out it had to be an intelligent designer that put this cell together from the beginning. It couldn't evolve over years of evolution because they all had to work together because they needed each other. Destroying the fact that it could not be an intelligent designer, destroying Big Bang. Now we see that there is intelligence behind this design, dealing with biochemistry, biology. We go to Biola EDU. Douglas Axe is the Maxwell Professor of Molecular Biology at Biola University, the founding director of biology. He wrote a book called Undeniable: How Biology Confirms Institution That Life is Designed. He's an award-winning scholar and scientist. What do we find out? He also teaches. Douglas Axe investigates molecular biology and intelligent design. He argues that biological systems, especially complex proteins, are evidence of an intelligent cause rather than random evolutionary process. So he went over molecular biology also, and through the facts that they find, that it had to be an intelligent cause, suggesting that human institution can recognize design. And I believe you could. And one great thing was the brothers called Crick and Watsons. They were materialist family, more of an atheistic side. They discovered that DNA had code, 4 letters, C, G, A, and T. They found out that these codes could be rewritten, and they could play as a biological programmer and play as God. They discovered that there was an intelligence behind this design. 5 years later, he also discovered—
1 minute.
Okay. 5 years later, Francis Crick also formulated a sequence, the hypothesis, the DNA symbol, right, family, that we see. He found out there was a chemical along the trusting double helix with chemicals, subunits of the molecule that were functioning like alphabetic characters in a written language. So these materialistic brothers, atheistic, discovered that the genes and genetics were written in code, that there had to be an intelligent designer behind these such things. And this amazed them, family. There was also a plant that shocked researchers last year. Biological discoveries is being called into question. Researchers say they are unable to repeat experiments that were thought to reveal a form of inheritance previously believed impossible. These plants were able to change and correct their genetics from previous grandfathers and grandparents. Something natural selection teaches can't happen because of the mutations. Destroying that. Hallelujah.
That is time. Finish your thought.
Okay. Yeah. They found out ripples through the genetics. It sent ripples through the genetics community when they discovered this, that these plants can recorrect their genes from recent grandfathers other than their parents, fixing themselves, which needed intelligence, which destroyed natural selection and of mutation. Hallelujah.
All right. All right. That was KOT's first round. You want me to just pull your screen down? So I was trying to catch you. I was going to say I could just pull your screen down, and that way when it's time to go back up, I could just bring it back up. But all right. Michael Everett, the brother, had a powerful first round. I am resetting the time at 10 minutes. Let me know when you're ready to share your screen, and we'll get right into it.
All right, give me just a second. Yeah, I find it interesting. You said that was a powerful first round. You know, that comment about the mind not being connected to the brain kind of threw me for a loop there for a second.
Oh, man. Hey, you got to love our brother Michael Everett, one of the most loyal participants in these Versus series. And the brother come with that dry, witty humor. You got to love it. Shout out to KOT for that first round. And I think Mike is about to see if he can counter. That being said, Mike, the time is set for 10 minutes. Time will start when you start.
All right, let's get into it. All right, so my screen showing?
Screen is showing.
All right. So, all right, let's continue with some of the definitions that where we left off at. All right. So, space is the three-dimensional arena which physical events occur and objects exist. It has dimensions including length, width, and height. It can curve or be stretched by gravity and energy, according to Einstein's general relativity. It's not nothing. It has structure, allowing fields and forces to operate within it. All right, now time is the dimension which orders events into past, present, and future. In physics, we use this and we treat it as coordinates for space, forming what we call space-time. All right, so that's what the four-dimensional construct is when you include time with space. All right. Energy is the capacity to do work or produce change, which includes kinetic motion, potential, which is stored energy, thermal, electromagnetic, chemical, nuclear, and etc. All right. It can change form, but it cannot be created or destroyed. This is determined by the law of conservation. All right. In Einstein's famous equation, E equals mc squared, energy and mass are interchangeable. Energy also contributes to the curvature of space-time, influencing gravity.
Mike, I'll pause your time. Are you moving your screen?
Oh, I just switched slides.
Okay, that was your first time switching slides?
Yeah.
Okay, because it looked like it's still on Intelligent Design versus Big Bang.
Hold on, bro.
I stopped your time at 8 minutes and 16 seconds.
Give me just a moment. Let me try to redo this quick. I had this issue last time. All right, let's see.
All right, time is stopped at 8 minutes and 16 seconds. Hey, y'all know what it is. We're human beings. Sometimes technical difficulties arise, but we gonna rise above them. That being said, Mike, let me know when you're ready to reshare your screen. In the meantime, family, y'all know what is going down. Y'all know what is going down.
On October 3rd through October 5th, the entire debate world comes together for 3 nights, 1 platform, 1 spectacle. This is not just another debate event. This is the grandest stage of them all. Debate Mania is the premier event in the debate community, the Super Bowl of intellect, the WrestleMania of words. The brightest minds, the fiercest rivalries, the biggest stakes. Here, champions are made, legacies are written, and only the sharpest minds survive. Debate Mania is the grandest stage of intellect. 2 voices, 2 visions, 1 destiny. For generations, the fight for black liberation has taken many forms. But at Debate Mania, the battle is not fought with fists. It is fought with ideas. In one corner, the pseudo-Hunter Heru conscious, a fearless atheist, a relentless skeptic. He believes Pan-Africanism is an outdated ideology. And at Debate Mania, she plans to prove it. But standing in his way is the champion, the defender of the people, the voice of pride, power, and Pan-African unity. Super Pan-Man, the Pan-African atheist. 2 giants of thought, 2 unstoppable forces, 1 collision that will shake the foundations of the Versus series. This is more than a debate. This is the main event. This is Debate Mania, only on Paradigm Shift TV 314. Be there for this historic 3-night event.
All right. Hey, Mike, to answer your question, yes, you can. I just put it back there, and we'll do it like that.
All right, give me just a second. So I'm not even sure why it's not showing. It was playing fine on my end.
Yeah, for some reason, sometimes StreamYard, it be tripping with the PowerPoint. So it's not unexpected, but it happens. So we'll adjust and get it over to me, and then I just control your slides that way. So it's better that we found out early in your time as opposed to you being halfway through and then people in the chat start realizing they wouldn't change it. So it's all good. Technical difficulties occur. We'll get back to it. Let me know when you send it.
All right, I'm getting ready to send it over.
In the meantime, family, Debate Mania weekend, October 3rd. One of these gentlemen will be in the social media title tournament final. And tomorrow we will find out who their opponent will be when Big Hemi, the biblical barbarian, takes on Quinn, the enigmatic Quinn, aka the Steel Stiletto. And yeah, we're gonna find out what it is. And once that is settled, the Debate Mania card is set. Winner of the social media tournament will receive $100. $100. The winner of social media tournament will receive $100 and that coveted social media championship. So y'all be ready for that. And soon as our brother is able, we will get back to it.
All right,
I believe I have it. Let me get that pulled up.
All right, start off at slide 4.
All right.
Just share it on your end, and we'll follow on this here.
Right. I should have that pulled up momentarily. It is loading. Soon as it gets done loading, we'll be right with y'all. It's at 87%. All right, I got it. You said slide 4. So let's see if I can go to slideshow. All right, and let me share. Right. That look about right to you? Can you see it, Mike? Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. That's it. That's good.
All right. All right. Time will start when you start, and just let me know when to go to the next slide.
All right, let's go ahead and pick up where we left off at. All right, so
16 remaining.
All right, the history of the Big Bang Theory. In the early 20th century, astronomical observations made by Vesto Slipher, Alexander Friedman, and Edward Hubble contributed to the discovery of an expanding universe. All right, George Lemaitre proposed the expansion of the universe and a primal atom theory, all right, in 1931, which suggested the universe originated from an incredibly dense, hot, and unstable primal atom that expanded and fragmented, creating space, time, matter, and energy. All right, so the theory was developed into its modern form by George Gamow and colleagues in the 1940s with the name Big Bang coined by astronomer, of course, you just heard, Fred Hoyle in 1949. All right, now Vesto Slipher started researching between 1912 and 1917, and he was the first person to measure the redshifts in light from distant galaxies. Now, this showed that the galaxies were actually moving further away from us. All right, so this also contributed to the expanding universe model. Friedmann's equations in 1922, the Russian mathematician Alexander Friedmann independently derived equations based on Albert Einstein's general relativity, describing the expanded universe. All right, so this goes back into the work that Slipher was just doing when he discovered the galaxies were actually moving further away. Now, Hubble's law came along in 1929 when Edward Hubble's measurements confirmed the expansion of the universe, showing the galaxies were indeed moving away from each other. All right, so we got multiple types of research here that actually confirmed the theories were true about the universe expanding, being mathematical equations, physical theories, working theories, and also the Hubble law, which actually confirmed the measurements as being correct. All right, next slide. All right, ancient theories and concepts. All right, throughout history, we actually had many civilizations that had a similar concept that it was kind of like the Big Bang model. Although not in its entirety, there were some similarities, I said, throughout history. Greek civilization had the Orphic tradition where the universe emerged from a cosmic egg and hatched by Kronos, the father of time. All right, the egg split into sky and earth, giving birth to gods and creation. All right, in the Chinese civilization, the Pangu myth, in the beginning, chaos formed into a cosmic egg. All right, and Pangu broke out, separating heaven, yang, and earth, yin. All right, and the Egyptian civilization, they had the Helioponaton, excuse me, hope I said that right, creation myth. The universe began in dark waters called the Nun, a cosmic mound where sometimes a primeval egg gave birth to sun god Ra. All right, and even in Phoenician and Canaanite traditions, you can also see a similar storyline here, which describes the beginning as a cosmic egg containing potential for creation, life, and order emerge from chaos within it. All right, next slide. All right, theories and concepts continue. All right, in Mesopotamian myth, the Enuma Elish, the universe began in the watery chaos of the Apsu, fresh water, and Tiamat, salt water. The merging produced creation, echoing the idea of something emerging from chaos. All right, and in Hindu cosmology, it describes the universe also emerging from a cosmic egg, the Brahmata. All right, the hymn of creation includes the universe beginning from a point of non-existence, then expanding. All right, and the cynical creation and destruction similar to modern cynical universal models. All right, in Norse mythology, all right, we also have something here where the universe began within a void. And I'm not even going to stumble over that word for y'all people. Fire and ice clash, sparking creation of the cosmos, reflecting themes of expansion from emptiness. All right, how much time do I have there?
1 second.
Oh, we ended there then.
No. You got 2 minutes and 12 seconds. I'm having to transition between the PowerPoint and the timer, so you got 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
Okay. You know,
And I did pause it, so start.
That's cool. We can end it there.
All right, time to start when you continue. You want to concede 2 minutes?
Yeah. I can pick up the rest of my presentation on the next round. That's cool.
You sure?
Oh, I'm positive.
It's 2 whole minutes.
Hey, I'm good, brother.
All right. Our brother is conceding the 2 minutes of his first round. Let me exit the full screen and pull that presentation down. All right. Our brother KOT, it is time for your second round. So the clock is reset at 10 minutes. Let me know when you're ready to reshare your screen.
Okay. It should be up.
All right. We are sharing your screen. And I was going to ask Mike this before we start having the technical issues, but I ask both of y'all now. Are y'all good with me telling y'all when it's 5 minutes and 2 minutes left?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Do y'all want a 1 minute warning or y'all want to leave it at 5 minutes and 2 minutes?
Yeah,
You can leave it what's that for me.
Say that one more time, Mike.
Yeah, that's good for me too.
5 and 2?
Yeah.
Same thing for you, brother KOT?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
All right. Time will start when you start.
Okay, family. My second round is a continuation and a rebuttal. First, let me rebut some of the stuff my brother just went over. Now, remember, the argument is intelligent design versus Big Bang. Now, intelligent design argues that there is an intelligence behind the designs of the creation of life. Big Bang argues there's no intelligence behind the cause, that it just occurred, and that naturalism comes into play. But it's odd that he brings up all these cultures that believe in gods, and they believe in an intelligent designer. I don't have to argue to destroy the fact of a Big Bang in these cultures, because some people argue the Big Bang still exists even in science. But we're arguing that there is an intelligence behind the cause, if you want to argue that there's a Big Bang. Do you understand that, brother? And we don't argue we argue against certain causes in evolution. It's not the whole argue against the in itself if you want to really get into it. So I think you're really hurting yourself with that argument. By you bringing up all these cultures like Hindu. Let me get into it. You brought in the Hindu, the Chinese, the Phoenician. All these believe in an intelligent designer. They all believe in gods. They believe that the sky is the god, the moon, the explosion. All these things are gods, intelligent designers. So your argument is literally to show that there's an intelligent designer in your premise. I mean, you kind of hurt yourself on that. You brought up the Hubble, but let me get into that through my presentation. Now we're going to go to science.nasa.gov. Around 13.8 billion years ago, the universe expanded faster than the speed of light for a fraction of a second, a period called cosmic inflation. Scientists aren't sure what came before inflation. Our brother needed to show us. Or what powered it. He didn't show us either. It is possible that energy during this period was just part of the fabric of space-time. Cosmic inflation explains many aspects of the universe we observe today, like its flatness or lack of curvature. On the larger scale, inflation may have also magnified density differences that naturally occur on space's smallest quantum level scales, which eventually help form the universe's larger scale structures. We go to astronomy.com, it tells us, but cosmologists have struggled, if not outright failed, to understand essential facets of the universe. We know almost nothing about dark matter and dark energy. Our brother never told us what it is. I want to know if he tells us in the second round, which together make up more than 95% of total energy in existence today. We don't understand how the universe, protons, electrons, and neutrons could have survived the after effects of the Big Bang. He didn't show us that either. In fact, everything we know about the laws of the physics tells us that these particles should have been destroyed by antimatter long ago. So the laws of physics tells us by that observation, these things should have been destroyed by antimatter long ago. And in order to make sense of the universe as we observe it, cosmologists conclude that space during its earliest moments must have undergone a brief and speculative period of hyperfast expansion, an event known as cosmic inflation. Yet we know next to nothing about this key era of cosmic history, which our brother never showed us either. Okay, family. We see the physics world. We go to Roger Penrose's theory of conformal-cyclic cosmology, the CCC. Now, with the Big Bang theory, and he's trying to put it as a fact. Now, we have another theory by Roger Penrose. So you're going to say this is a fact? Our universe is one in an infinite series of eons, where each universe ends in a smooth, dark energy dominated state that becomes the Big Bang for the next eon. So he's arguing for multiple Big Bangs, multiple eras of life, that there's a beginning and there was a Big Bang before that Big Bang. This cyclical model would suggest that the universe is not a unique occurrence, but part of a continuous cycle of rebirths, attempts to solve the low entropy beginning of the Big Bang, and offers a framework where remnants from previous eons. See, in his model, the Big Bang is destroyed because they can't explain what is the beginning. But in this model of Roger Penrose's theory, he shows that there were other Big Bangs, other universes that pre-existed this Big Bang. So this is also fake because it's called a theory, and his is called a theory if you want to mix the argument. But no, family. He also said such as Hawking's point in the cosmic microwave background could be found. So he helps the Big Bang theory with his theory of conformal-cyclical cosmology. And he's arguing, and so the Big Bang model our brothers are arguing falls apart. It doesn't exist because there's a universe before that. Then he's got to show us a universe before that. Till we get to the intelligence. What we see through biology, we found the intelligence. We go to biology direct. Random mutations must be heritable code for natural selection to act upon them. This is part of Darwin's theory, family. Natural selection. However, natural selection is not the cause of mutations. It is the non-random force that determines whether a mutation is beneficial, neutral, or harmful. Now we get down here, we find out Down syndrome is not always inherited. So we find out Down syndrome is not
5 minutes.
We find that Down syndrome is not always inherited, with the vast majority of cases resulting from random errors in cell division, not from a parent's gene. Remember, intelligent design by definition argues biology and against evolution. That's why I have to argue these points, because that's intelligent design premise. And we see that it destroys this evolution thought, showing us that there's an intelligence behind this cause. Seeing that Down syndrome is not always inherited from the parents as natural selection shows that it should be. We go to how the Hubble tension challenged the Big Bang model that our brother just presented. This discrepancy means that the universe appears to be expanding faster now than predicted by our understanding of the early universe. This suggests one or two possibilities, both of which require modifications to cosmological models. So they have to change the model, which means his model is incorrect in this debate, even by the facts. We see there's missing physics. There may be new undiscovered physics influencing the expansion rate of the universe. Proposed solutions include exotic particles, an early form of dark energy, or changes to our understanding of gravity. So they have to change understanding to gravity in order to put the Big Bang as correct. But it falls apart because of these things. Revisions to the model. The standard Lambda CDM model, which describes a universe of dark energy, dark matter, and ordinary matter, may be incomplete and need to be revised. So through all of these series, let's go to the next one. Creationstudies.org. See, our brother brought us in his opening, and I know why he argued a singularity for no reason. We all can see there's a singularity. We see a single point, but it has to be a beginning of that singularity. So we go to creationstudies.org. What do we find? What is a singularity? The Big Bang universe begins in a singularity. All matter, energy, space, and time crushes to a point of infinite density. There is no known mechanism to start the universe, expanding out of the singularity. The equations in the theory only work after the expansion has begun. So our brother didn't show you this because it falls apart. His measurements and the scholars that bring up, that only works after the expansion has begun. There was no known mechanism to start the universe expanding out of the singularity. We're arguing that it is an intelligent designer causing it to come out of the singularity if we want to argue the aspect science of it, because I argued the aspect science of it also. So our brothers he ain't gonna be able to attack me on that point. But we see that they have no beginning. We have a beginning intelligent design. A singularity is considered to be a breakdown of theory that it cannot be assumed that the laws of physics as we know them can apply to the event, thus preventing serious questions about it. W.B. Bonner in 1960 wrote that a singularity in mathematics is an indication of the breakdown of a theory that must be done away with. So our brother brought it up in his opening, but even the scholars even saying this needs to be thrown out. Let's go down. It says, according to standard Big Bang theory, before the Big Bang, there was nothing, no space, no time, no matter, no energy.
2 minutes.
No
2
explanation
minutes.
had been given. So we find out there's no time, no matter, no space, no energy, and there's no explanation had been given for that within reasonable known physical science. So within the reasonable bounds of known physical science, they gave us no explanation of this. They're arguing philosophy, like the Bible. They're arguing religion. Everything was created out of the nothing. That's why many biblical scholars argue a Big Bang. But we're arguing there's intelligence behind it to cause that singularity from that point. His problem is there is no intelligence. That's the argument here today. He don't understand. His argument, he should be showing us that there's no intelligence behind it. He's not even showing us that. He's just showing us stuff that he's regurgitating. We see this is the mammalian ancestor. See, this is why I told you, because the Big Bang biology, which is also connected to Big Bang theory, it connects to evolution. It starts us off as a dinosaur animal or alligator. You see, family? At the Permian period, this is where Darwinism theory comes in, where the mammal reptilian-like animals comes in. Then they evolve to mammals, and we get over to the right. Eventually, we get down to monkeys and humans. I would argue against this evolution, the way it comes in. We don't come in this way. But they're arguing we literally come from dinosaurs, reptiles first, that evolved during the Permian era from the Big Bang. So it literally connects Darwinism to the Big Bang by biology and by doctrine. A supernova explosion produces X-rays, blast waves of fast particles that will render a planet like Earth uninhabitable if the explosion happened in its immediate galactic neighborhood. So they need to show us, how did this Big Bang occur, family? From the singularity. That's the point we get back to that he brought up from the beginning. We're arguing that there is an intelligent designer behind it, which I showed through biology, that all these proteins and the mechanisms work together and had to be assembled at one time for intelligence to cause these events and for them to come together as we are assembled. Hallelujah.
That's time. That is time. All right. Leave your screen up, KOT, and I'll just remove it. That way it'll be there when it's time to pull it back up. Oh, well, no, that's it for that. Y'all going to the Q&A after mic round, so never mind. All right. Our brother Michael Everett, the brother came in smoking in his first 2 rounds. Let's see how you gonna respond. You ready to bring your screen back up?
Yeah, go ahead and share it from your end. Yeah, you're right. He was definitely smoking some rocks on that one. I thought he was I thought my boy was gonna bring a presentation to actually show us something about the designer, man. Like,
this brother Michael
speaking against another concept, like, bro, I thought I was actually gonna get to argue against a concept on intelligent design. I just gotta pull it out of thin air.
Hey, time starts when you start, brother.
All right, let's see, what do we leave off here? Pick up on slide 7.
All right, give me 1 second. That the right spot?
Yeah.
All right. Time starts when you start.
Okay, hold on. One more slide. You're on 6.
Okay.
Wait, is your screen moving? Because I'm still showing, it's still showing theories and concepts. Am I seeing something different? Should
Give
be
me
showing
one
the
second.
cosmic background.
Yeah, no, it's still showing on. Yeah, see that. So it's happening to me too because I got it on slideshow. Let me change it back and see if the right one pop up. All right, so yeah, I just had to remove it out of slideshow. Let me see if we can go to full screen, make it a little bigger. Okay, time to start when you're ready, bro.
Go with one more.
Go up. Okay. 1 second. You want to go back to 7?
Yeah, start at 7.
Okay. All right.
All right. The accidental discovery of the cosmic microwave background radiation. All right. Like most discoveries in the scientific community, a lot of things actually occurred by complete accident. A lot of times they're not even looking for these things. They're probably just studying something else, or kind of like Isaac Newton. He was just out sitting under an apple tree when an apple hit him in the head, and he just started to wonder why this apple fell and hit him in the head. And he was able to come up with this concept we call gravity today. All right. So with the cosmic microwave background radiation, all right, this discovery actually occurred in 1964, all right, with Arnold Penzias and Robert Wilson. All right, they actually accidentally discovered a faint noise or background radiation that scientists later recognized as the residue, the heat from the Big Bang, providing strong evidence for the theory. All right. The discovery with Penzias and Wilson were using a large horn-shaped antenna to study radio emissions from the Milky Way, working for AT&T. All right. When they detected a low level and constant hiss or static that was present no matter where they pointed the antenna. They spent months trying to eliminate this potential source of the excess noise, checking the antenna itself, and even removing pigeon droppings and nests that they found. All right. After ruling out local interference, they realized the signal was a uniform radio background coming from all directions in space. They later learned that a team at Princeton University, led by Robert Dicke, was searching for a residual radiation from the Big Bang, and Penzias and Wilson's finding became the perfect match for their predictions. All right, next slide. All right. In 1989, the cosmic background explorer, the COBE, was launched by NASA in an attempt to record evidence of the CMB. Equipped with far infrared obsolete spectrometer, the diffuse infrared background experiment, the differential radiometer, microwave radiometer, the DMR. The COBE was able to provide the first detection of these fluctuations in 1992 with this equipment when NASA used this probe. All right, so this is not just some random theory. At once upon a time, this was something, a random concept that many individuals around the world, and yes, a lot of people, a lot of civilizations, ancient civilizations especially, had theological beliefs. But that does not mean that these individuals still carry these beliefs today, because thankfully there are no Vikings sitting up on anybody's shores ready to send somebody to Valhalla. So this actually proved that the universe was expanding when they were able to record this evidence. All right, with the Wilkinson microwave entropy probe, this was launched by NASA, and it operated from 2001 to 2010. All right, this mapped the cosmic microwave background for us. All right, they actually had some of the same equipment attached to their probe with just a little bit more modifications, you know what I'm saying, with it. But these observations reveal temperature differences within the CMB, showing us the afterglow of the Big Bang effect, allowing scientists to determine the age, geometry, and contents of the universe with unprecedented precision. All right, in 2009, the European Space Agency launched the Planck satellite. All right, its high sensitivity instruments measured the faint temperature and polarization variations in the CMB, giving clues about the universe's birth, evolution, and fundamental properties. All right, next slide. All right, this is showing you some of the images that were actually recorded by the Planck satellite using the equipment that it had on board. They actually was able to map and record this image. Now, what you're seeing here isn't the entire universe itself. This is just the actual range of the scanner for the probe that was used. All right, next slide. All right, so this is just showing some of the different spectrums that it was able to map when it comes to the CMB, showing it from different visual spectrums. Next slide. All right, next slide. All right, now let's continue on to the Big Bang. Next slide. All right, so let's start from the singularity. Is he on slide 15? All right. So the singularity, like we talked about before, this is the point where the universe begins from an extremely hot, dense, and tiny state. All right. So what we talk about here when they say T equals 0, that means our understanding of what we call classical physics does not go beyond this point. It's not that we don't try to create models that go beyond this point, but most scientists do believe that at this point in time that maybe there is a high possibility that what we observe as being the fundamental properties and universal laws did not exist beyond this point in time. All right, so that's what T equals 0 means. All right, so at this point in time, this is where space, time, and energy will all compress into a single point. All right, like I said, physics as we know it just breaks down here. This is as much as we know when it comes to using the classical physics model. All right, there are other models that also includes research from quantum mechanics and stuff like that. All right, but that's not what we're really dealing with here today. All right, so the Planck epoch. All right, this occurred as soon as the moment where the universe began to expand, right? All right, so at this point, gravity may have separated from the other 4 minutes. All right, and the universe's temperatures within the were very high at this point in time. Quantum fluctuations in density, speed of future galaxies, all of this really came down to this point in time. All right, so during the inflation, the universe expanded faster than the speed of light. All right, not objects, but space itself. Size increased by an enormous factor, possibly about 100 times. The universe soothes out, becoming nearly uniform with tiny fluctuations. All right, now during the quark epoch, all matter exists within the hot superquarks, gluons and leptons. The fundamental forces, electromagnetism, the the strong, and the gravity are coming to existence at this point where they're beginning to separate. All right. So in the Hadron epoch, quarks combine into protons and neutrons. All right. The universe cools enough for this to stabilize hardons and enable them to form. All right. Antimatter and matter mostly annihilate each other at this point in time, leaving a slight excess of matter, which becomes everything we see today. All right, during the lepton epoch, leptons like electrons and neutrons dominate, more annihilation occurs, and radiation is released into the environment at this point in time. All right, next slide. All right, nucleosynthesis. It's the process where new atomic nuclei are created from lighter ones through nuclear reactions, such as nuclear fusion. Protons and neutrons fuse into light nuclei. Hydrogen, helium, and trace lithium.
Right, that's time. Finish your thought in less than a minute if you can.
Oh, so right now what we're looking at here is what took place right here from 3 minutes all the way up into present day. All right. So the universe began to cool extremely fast, which allowed a lot of reactions to take place, especially within the electromagnetic spectrum, allowing the combination of nuclei and atoms to begin to form. All right. So this process of hydrogen and helium began to expand and cause a chain reaction amongst the universe when it can constantly collided with other particles itself. All right. So during the dark ages, hydrogen gas pretty much filled the universe and caused a pretty much haze to form at this point. All right, so photons, although they were able to form, they couldn't go too far without colliding into other particles and molecules, scattering, creating a light haze effect. All right, so a little bit later on, it cools down a little bit further. Particles begin to attract to each other.
All right, Mike, wrap it up.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. And for those who wondering why I let the brother finish his thought is because I missed my cue as I was going back and forth with the PowerPoint. So that was on me. I did the similar thing with KOT in the first round. So for anybody wondering what that was about, that's what it was, trying to keep things fair and balanced. All right, we are now in the most important section of the Versus series. This is the Q&A, the vaunted chin check session. And our brother, Michael Everett, is going to start that off. He has 10 minutes. 10 minutes to ask our brother KOT as many questions as he can. You have an option to stop your time up to 3 minutes. After the 3 minute mark, you will not have that. After you stopped your time 3 times, you will not have that option. If it gets too stagnant, I will step in as the moderator, but it is up to the person asking the questions to mind their time. All right, brother Michael Everett. The time will start when you start asking questions.
All right, let's get it. All right, so brother, I can't help but to go back to, saying the first thing that caught my mind, saying, what do you mean when you said the mind is not connected to the brain?
Well, Wild Penner, he described that when he did the tests on the brain, that the consciousness is not materialistic to the brain, that it was an outside source, help functioning to that brain. It's connected, interacting the brain, but it's not part of the brain, literally. It couldn't evoke thought on the consciousness, that it had to be separate from the brain due to his tests.
What is that study called there? Like I never heard of that one. Like
Let me
you
get
said,
the scholar. Hold on. Let me give you his name, and I want to say it right, correct. It's neurosurgeon Wilder Penfield. You can find that in the National Institute of Health.gov and the
so
PBS.org. They
is
went
he
over that.
saying? Is he saying that our consciousness does not come from our brain itself, right?
Right. He said the brain had memories and all that stuff that it holds and such that the brain itself had. That he could vote action on that, but he couldn't invoke the mind or the thought of the person. So he seen that it was not materialistic.
I'm
I
kind of
know because
confused on that.
you're not a
So,
neurosurgeon. I get it because
yeah,
it's
I
destroying
don't
your
think that's
argument.
how. Yeah, I don't think
That's the
that's how
problem.
neurology works. But
Well, you need to look it up, brother.
so
It ain't how you feel.
consciousness comes from an outside source, right? So does that mean we're being controlled? Is that what you're saying? There's no free will. We're now.
No,
I've heard
you are
plenty of
that.
arguments
You
about
are.
that.
Hold
They're
on.
not.
Hold on. I'm gonna say you are that consciousness. That's why he couldn't invoke their thought because they're that consciousness. They have their own thought. We're the conscious that's connected to this body. This is our vessel. This is our
What?
vehicle here on Earth.
Huh?
This is our vehicle. Vehicle here on Earth is our body. So
So
our
are you
conscious,
saying
we
that
are the conscious.
consciousness is physical? Our physical body?
No, you ain't listening. That ain't even the argument I made. I'm arguing intelligent design.
I'm listening. I'm trying to understand what you said because you said that we are a consciousness.
Yes, we are that consciousness.
So
And hold on.
what
Let me make it.
what is the
I'm gonna make
we?
it make easy sense to you. Your body is the vehicle, like a car. You're that consciousness in that vehicle. That's why you can evoke thought on that mind itself, because you are that mind, that thought. But the brain itself has its own functions. It can hold memory. It can hold certain thoughts that it obtains from memory. It learns walking, talking. It knows how to use organs. See, the brain has functions, but
Yes,
he can,
that's
he
how
could, yeah,
synapses
he
work.
was teaching in his work. That's what I said, brother. And he a neurosurgeon. Through his works, he could advocate movements, sensations, like things that the person knew he was doing to them by touching their brain while they're awoke. But he did things where he tried to mess with their consciousness, but he could not. He said that it was separate. It wasn't materialistic. That there's
What?
an intelligence. It's confusing you because you know it destroys your argument. That this neurosurgeon discovered that there's an intelligence behind us.
In
That's
our
what he
brain?
discovered from that. That we are that
That
intelligent. We're that conscious.
that our consciousness is the intelligence, and our consciousness is not connected to our brain.
Brother, you killing yourself. I'm gonna read the argument from the neurosurgeon once again. You asked me from my perspective how I feel if
I
I'm
just
giving you a
repeated what you
religious
said.
well.
I'm pretty
What
sure.
he said literally was,
All right, next question. Next
conducted a wait. Go
hey,
kill your argument once again.
next
Go ahead.
question. Next question. Oh my
Go ahead,
God.
brother.
All
I know
right,
you
so
dying. Go ahead.
let's talk about this gap of the gods fallacy. You pretty much created the entire argument.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you demonstrate in fact that there is at any point evidence that suggests there is a designer at play? Like is there something that takes place? Wait, is there something that takes place in the universe where we could look at and say, yes, this action cannot occur without someone else doing it? Like it has to be like an act of divine intervention in order for this act to occur, like something that cannot occur in nature itself. What action is that?
I understand your question, brother. I literally went over biology, brother, showing the functions of the proteins, the mechanisms, the organs, how they carry information that needs intelligence to do. This is not something that an explosion happens and then boom.
No, that's just how cellular
knows it.
coding.
Man, you won't even let me finish my answer.
Look,
What's going on here?
that's just how cellular
What's
coding
going on
works,
here?
bro.
No, you can't tell me how something
Look,
works.
you're
You
gonna go on. You're gonna go
crazy.
on all day with the flim
Go ahead.
flam.
You got another question? I mean,
look, you can't go
you
on
ask
all
a
day
question,
with
but you don't want
bro.
the answer, brother.
You can't
Go
go
ahead.
on all day.
What else you got? What else you got, man?
All right. So the God of the gap
Killing-
fallacy was not
killing you.
explained because you didn't actually
Killing you. Go ahead.
explain anything about a intelligent designer. You didn't even like what did they do?
I literally showed biology.
Hey,
And
calm
this is
down,
crazy,
calm
though.
down, calm down, calm down.
Oh, you filibustering?
What did your designer do? Like I explained the Big Bang model. Like what did your designer do? Explain something they did.
I literally showed you what the listen, the debate is intelligent design versus Big Bang. The definition of intelligent design deals with biology. Don't you understand that? Like, what argument you trying to make
Look,
up? You
you're
can't make
just
me up an argument.
claiming.
Now,
Wait,
hold on. Let me give you my answer.
bro,
I went through
again,
showing you.
we're going
You gonna
back to
never
the
let me answer.
fallacy of you
I keep
plugging and
killing you.
playing
You
the
don't
God. Like,
answer.
look,
I showed you cells
show
by
me.
biology.
Look,
Molecular biology. I literally showed you that there were cells that contain nucleic acid that carry information.
sorry, bro.
I showed
Molecular
you.
biology does
finish.
not contain
This man here.
intelligent design.
You
Intelligent
dying. It's killing
design
you.
is not
Your hate is killing
scientific
you.
structure,
You
bro.
kill-
Like, what are you arguing here?
Yeah, the answer
Like,
killing you because I'm using science. I ain't using no pseudo. I'm literally using science. to tell you.
You're not
And it's
using the
killing
science. You will never
What else you
find
want?
intelligent design in the science book. All right, next question.
Come on, let me bring the next one. You stop me from answering. Go ahead.
Hey, so explain the existence of your designer. Like, how did they come into existence?
Well, I'm arguing from a scientific point of view in intelligent design. So it always existed. See, it is intelligence. It always existed. All matter, all proteins, all life source is made up of it. It is intelligence. It put these organisms together, these cells, that they would come together.
Wow,
And the
that's
events
really
that it
convenient.
occurred.
So your God is like Dr. Manhattan. Like, you ever seen the little movie?
Man, you just
Dr.
making up.
Manhattan?
You making up the lunar tomb. Most stuff you just said. I just literally told you his
No,
own life
I
story.
mean,
His
yeah, Dr.
cells.
Manhattan
Oh
is
man,
an actual
come on, man.
character, but
Yeah, I didn't even give you a character. You filibuster. I just literally told you he's cells, protons, electrons, neutrons, matter. He's the elements. Man, what doctor you trying to put in for me? I know philosophy.
look,
Doctor.
bro, I'm
Give you
looking for an
intelligence,
actual
design, brother.
explanation. It's
Killing
like,
you.
who is your
I am. You don't want-
designer?
It's crazy.
Like, where are
Hey,
they
you wanna ask
from?
me-
What have they
It's crazy.
done? Like, I thought you
Can
were
I
going
answer-
to actually
can I
bring
answer
this
it again?
information
Answer
during your
once again.
presentation.
Can I answer again once intelligently, brother? Our intelligent designer is all the elements, all life, protons, neutrons, electrons, matter. He's a periodic
So
table.
your designer is not an actual being? Is that what you're saying?
He's intelligence. He's all life source, all matter,
wait,
all things is
like,
formed of our
Can we
intelligence,
actually
of our,
use a
of our
dictionary
designer.
when we use terms properly?
And
When
we
you
can
say
literally
he,
prove that with what
who
we
is
see today.
are you going back to God or the designer being a being now? Because you
No,
just
that's what
said
you're
that
trying
they-
to know. That's literally what you're trying to do, bro.
Okay,
I
go
literally
back.
told you he is protons, neutrons, electrons. He's
Explain
matter.
who your God
dark
is.
matter.
Like,
He's
okay,
all-
explain the designer again. Excuse me.
crazy.
Explain the design again.
Hey, the answer's
what?
killing you. You want me to give you some religious nonsense when we arguing a scientific debate? The
No,
intelligent
like, these
designer.
are
Hold on.
I'm
Can I answer,
asking
brother?
logical questions about
must be
your
on a delay
designer.
or
I'm
something.
curious to know about
Can
your
I answer?
designer.
Can
You
I-
didn't bring
can I
any of this information to your
Can I answer?
presentation.
So
I
yes, I
actually-
did.
I'm
I did
doing
it
a
through
favor.
molecular
Look, bro.
biology.
Hey,
He's
I'm doing a
intelligent.
favor to the audience, bro. You don't have
Oh
to get
man,
mad at me. They're
Hey, I ain't
interested
get
in
mad.
knowing.
This is wild. It's
Look, you
wild.
didn't bring
Hey,
up
the
any of
answer's
this
killing you.
information during your
Come
presentation,
on,
bro. I'm
brother.
pretty
Yes, I
sure they
did. I
want to know
literally
where your
brought
designer
up.
come from.
Oh man, this crazy. Literally went into
I
the
just want-
definition of
I just want,
intelligent
like,
design,
you-
and it
I-
brings
look,
up molecular
bro,
biology.
look,
And
bro.
molecular
If you were going to
biology.
do the
Show
intelligent
you that
design
intelligence.
argument, I thought that you were actually
It-
going to talk
Nah,
about your
nah.
designer.
You wanted me to talk
and not
about
talk,
you wanted me
you
to
know,
talk about a
just
sky
being
god. You
denied
want me to talk about an
science
Egyptian
and stuff.
god? No, brother.
It's like on one hand, wait. One hand, you're actually talking about how you're using science, but at the same time, you're trying to deny science at the same time. I'm like really confused about
You're making
this.
that up. Nope.
In the,
You're making it up.
no,
My argument is there is an intelligence behind the Big Bang. You're saying there's no intelligence.
you
You're
haven't even
arguing
shown
that.
you haven't shown the designer.
I
bro.
did through
Like,
molecular biology. I did.
okay. Look, man.
literally
Hey,
showed it. And that's
hey,
the definition of it.
hey, calm down, calm
I had
down.
to go in-
Last 10 seconds, I just
ahead,
want to
brother.
say thank you to the audience, man. I appreciate y'all for showing up. And hope it was interesting for you.
Yeah, because it's crazy. You don't like these answers.
All right. That is the time, Brother Mike's opportunity to ask Brother KOT questions has now elapsed. And I will reset the time for 10 minutes. It is now Brother KOT's opportunity to ask Mike some questions. All right, brothers, the time starts when Brother KOT start asking questions.
Okay. Peace and blessings, brother.
All right, what's good?
Okay. Here go my question right here. Okay. What was the mechanism that started the universe expanding out of the singularity?
That's quantum physics.
What caused
But
it?
if you,
It's your theory.
no, I'm just saying that that's quantum physics. That's not actually part of the actual Big Bang theory.
Man.
But
You brought up
if you want a theory, I'm just saying if you want a theory on that, I'm just saying it takes place before the Big Bang, so it's not actually included in the theory of Big Bang.
Sad because this is hold on. This is sad because this is literally in your opening round. You tried to argue about singularity. Literally in your second round of the premise, this guy tried to argue about singularity. It's ironic.
I talked about the singularity.
It's crazy.
I talked about the singularity.
Arguing about it.
You're asking about what took place before the singularity.
Exactly. So how did you come into this
I'm
conclusion?
pretty sure. Were you paying attention to the part where I said classical physics breaks down at that point?
Hold on. Next question.
No, you weren't.
Hey, man, what you doing? Next question. You must got delayed. Okay. Where did the energy come from that produced the Big Bang?
That's quantum physics again. It's outside the Big Bang.
Y'all, you don't know. It's all theory. It's like you don't know. You just made it. Y'all making up a theory. Y'all can't tell us what it is. Okay. Next question, because you don't know. Okay.
I just did.
You know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
On it, but
I want to ask you this. In your second round, I realized why you did it. You used nucleosynthesis as one of your sources, right? It literally is on the screen.
Yeah. I
literally brought up Fred Hoyle, who is the one that came up with that theory of nucleosynthesis. And it's crazy because you're using my source that believes in the super intellect is what he says. He's an atheist, but he believes in intelligent designer. That was the guy I brought up. It's crazy. You used your source. You use the same source I use that he believes in intelligent designer, and he coined the phrase that you use. It killed you already right now. The people didn't know that, but I know that because I caught it. But let's go to something else.
Because he's an atheist?
Where did no, he just killed you. Don't even play stupid now. But I'm gonna get to the next question.
Was that supposed to be a question for me?
Right over. Next question right over. Hold on. No, you literally just died. Yeah, I asked you the question. You answered the question because you used the source that I use that he believes in an intelligent designer, and you using him as one of your sources as if he's proving your point when it's letting you know he believes in intelligent design.
This is a scientific.
He believes in science. He believes in scientific explanations, but they believe in an intelligent cause behind.
Synthesis has nothing to do with an intelligent designer. I did not. I just explained it and did not include the intelligent designer. So I don't know. Can you explain what your intelligent designer?
Hey, hold on, man. Take the question right. Hold that over there, man. Calm down, though. Do humans have a purpose? Hold on. Do humans, man, you dead already. Do humans have a purpose?
Okay. Next question.
No question around, brother. Sit down. Exactly. What you doing? Do humans have a purpose?
What does that have to do with the Big Bang theory?
Man, you heard, because according to Big Bang theory, there's no intelligence behind it. That we don't have purpose. If that's the case, we just come together in natural selection.
I have no idea.
Brother. Answer my question, brother.
Where do you get that from? Because the Big Bang theory is about the creation of the universe. It has nothing to do about being against your argument that did not exist before the Big Bang theory.
Remember, our argument is
the Big Bang theory has nothing to do with your argument,
brother. Why are you trying to stall my time when I'm trying to ask you questions? Like, it's crazy. I hope the judge
I'm just being
you won't even let me answer my questions. You're just talking all the whole time. Let me ask you the question. Do humans have a purpose? Answer yes or no. That's what's up to you. You playing games here.
It wasn't a yes or no question, but all right.
Do humans have a purpose?
That's a metaphysical question.
I'm arguing humans. I'm arguing that there's an intelligence behind our creation that gives us purpose. You're arguing that we just came about because of an explosion. So that's relevant to this debate, man. How you playing games here? Go ahead, answer the question.
I'm gonna say no.
All right, I know, because that's what, if you believe in, you believe we have no purpose. So you don't believe.
Then why'd you ask the question?
That's the reason. I just want to make sure you
irrelevant to the argument, but how does purpose?
Let me go to my next question. I see my time running down. Are you playing games still? Yeah, it's relevant. It's relevant. Okay.
I don't see
who gave the law? Oh, come on, man. Who gave the laws and the properties for atoms to group together?
What?
Who gave the laws of physics? Who gave the laws for atoms and protons for them to do what they do?
Hey,
gave them the laws to do it?
Look, bro, that's a question for you. You are the one that's supposed to be improving
It's
intelligent design.
crazy.
Why are you
Hey,
asking
y'all
me
see
questions?
this?
Look, why are you asking me questions that was meant for you to prove in your presentation?
Man, this is crazy. He can't answer. Hope everybody's seeing this.
That's a question
can't
you
answer
were
the
supposed to
question.
present in your
Who
presentation, bro.
can't?
Something
Hey,
that you did not
this
cover.
is crazy.
Hey,
He's
bro,
saying all
bro.
things. He's saying
My
he's saying
argument
about
is the Big Bang Theory.
man.
I have nothing to do
He's
with
trying to run
intelligent
my
design.
time down. That's all he's
your
doing.
argument.
He don't want to answer the
All
question.
right,
It's crazy.
all right. Listen,
don't
I
wanna answer
paused the time. I paused the time. Got a little rowdy. And remember, this is for these two debaters and future debaters. You have 3 opportunities to stop your time during the chin check session. So I'm going to let y'all continue. Please ask the question. Mike, please answer the question. Time restarts.
Who gave the laws and the physics? Who gave them to atoms and protons for them to form stars, galaxies?
Oh, there you go.
Nobody. That's my answer. Nobody.
So how do we have laws of physics? How do we have laws of science? So they don't have laws.
Construct of the universe. That's my answer.
How do they get intelligence to do such things? What is this intelligence to tell a proton he's a positive charge and a neutron has no charge? What gave you the intelligence to know that?
There is no intelligence behind it, bro.
So that's what I'm saying. Y'all theory just falls apart because you can't explain how a proton knows it has a positive charge. How a neutron has no charge. You can't explain this.
That you were supposed to
quit the nonsense. Okay, what is 95% of matter of the universe made of?
Something like what? Dark matter, dark energy, something like that.
What is it made of? What is it? What is dark matter? What is it made of?
Theoretical answer is supposed to be the fabric of the universe, something like that.
So you don't know.
What?
You don't know.
I just said that's the theoretical answer. Science doesn't actually know in itself. We just observe the effect of dark matter and dark energy.
Exactly. I want to know if you're gonna be truthful because they said they don't know what it is.
Okay, so how does that prove your intelligent design?
What came before inflation?
Which inflation? Are you talking about the Big Bang?
Yes. What else am I talking about?
Okay, again.
Still in this debate. Where you been at, brother?
We're talking about before the singularity again. All right, that's quantum physics, but I can give you a theory. You wanted a theory on it.
Come on, man. What you got?
All right. So, according to the basic theory or the basic model when it comes to quantum physics, the fluctuation that occurred was quantum energy. They don't know what caused the fluctuation. They just theorized that it was quantum energy that was responsible for the fluctuation itself that caused the effect.
Thank you for that, brother. Now I gotta ask you, where did the quantum energy come from, brother?
Didn't I just say there is nothing that goes beyond that?
But you just said they said the quantum energy. So you just making up stuff. I'm glad.
I just said it is a theory.
Thank you, brother. That y'all don't know.
Nothing to do with the Big Bang.
You told us it's
all made up. It
all has to do with the Big Bang.
Physics breaks down at T-0 at the singularity. Classical physics does not cover the moment.
How did the protons, neutrons survive after the Big Bang? I just want to ask you that. I ain't saying I don't believe in that. We believe in there's an intelligence behind the Big Bang. Y'all don't know what's before, as you keep saying. But go ahead.
Are you talking about the moment where the collisions from antimatter? Is that what you're talking about?
Hold on. I said, how did protons and neutrons and electrons survive the after effect of the Big Bang?
Okay, and I'm asking specifically, are you talking about the moment where antimatter was present in abundance?
All I know is the scientists say after the after effect. So what the after effect is? You don't know. You don't know what the after effect is?
I'm trying to. Okay, I'm just gonna assume that this is the moment that you're talking about. All right. So at this moment in the universe,
effect. Once it blow up, what after? Like how did they survive this? That's simple, man. That was crazy though. Go ahead.
I'm finna answer.
You just running my clock. I know what you're doing, man. Go ahead.
At this moment in the universe was actually filled with an abundance of antimatter. All right, but at the same time that matter is collided collides with antimatter, all right, both are actually destroyed,
Okay.
but not actually destroyed. They're transformed into something
Where
new.
did that matter come from now?
Wait, are you talking about before this?
You
Wait.
just mentioned matter. Where did that matter you just mentioned come from?
Wait, bro, you're asking me
I-
about
it's killing
photons,
you.
right?
Yeah, how did they survive the after
You
effect? Then
asking-
you telling me about matter. Now I'm asking you, where did the matter come from?
Bro, okay. You just ran
You
your
don't get it,
time
do you?
down. 'Cause
Nah, you
I
know
know
what you're
exactly
doing.
what you're talking about.
I
I
know
was
what you're doing.
explaining the process, but you started talking about where the matter came from. As I'm explaining to you how the matter in the
Is
collision of antimatter turned
that
up
I
in.
knew you had a
is
time.
the
You good.
time.
Wow.
That is the time, gentlemen. The time has elapsed for the chin check session. The hardest 20 minutes in debating, the chin check session, right here on Paradigm Shift TV 314 and the Versus series. And these brothers have put on a spectacular contest. Both of these brothers seem to really want that goal. This has been a great debate, despite the technical difficulties and everything that came along with it. Again, family, we are only human, but the Versus series continues to be the number one place to debate in these YouTube streets. That being said, gentlemen, it is time to close this thing out. Each of you will have 3 minutes. Michael Everett will be going first. KOT will be going last. That being said, my brother Mike, the timer start. When you start, 3 minutes to close this thing out.
All right, man. I really just want to say I appreciate to everybody for coming out tonight, and I really hope everyone enjoyed the show. Man, this was a interesting topic of discussion tonight. Man, please don't fall for the flim flam just because someone says it's neuroscience, neuroscience, and throws a lot of words on top of it. Definitely does not mean it's true. I have no idea how the consciousness can be you and separate from you at the same time. And yeah, that's why I don't deal with metaphysics. I deal with physics. But I hope I really did a great job in demonstrating.
Seconds, Mike. Mike.
Yeah.
Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I stopped your time. I stopped your time at 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I don't know. Yeah, I think that was on my end. My connection got a little unstable. As long as the family can hear you, you can keep going. I had stopped your time because I couldn't hear you, and I thought maybe the family couldn't hear you. But I'm gonna restart your time. You got 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Time will start when you start back talking.
All right. Bet. All right. So hope y'all enjoyed everything on my end. Did my best, try to break down some of the scientific terminology when it comes to stuff like this. Tried to give you a demonstration that was easy to digest. Kind of hate I didn't cover everything, but it was just a little bit left on the table. Man. But I thought we were going to get a little bit more on the intelligent design end. Kind of felt a little empty. Didn't get an explanation onto what the designer actually is responsible for, what they actually do, who they actually are, or anything like that. But it was kind of great, listening to me give my presentation while they say that they're, designer was responsible for everything I gave you in my presentation. And like I said, appreciate y'all for showing up. Appreciate the brother KOT, and hope to see y'all later, man. Peace.
All right, the brother is leaving. A little bit over a minute on the table, but we're gonna reset the time for our brother KOT. Time will start when he starts, but before you do, brother, let me say shalom to the brother Vincent Mueller, always in the building. getting his issues off. People getting irate with him, and he don't care. He stay in there. He on every single live. Salute to that brother, and salute to everybody else in the chat. Gary Barick, I think is how you say it. If not, I apologize. Never seen him in here before, but salute to him. Salute to everybody in the chat. I see TKO, Takari Dawson in the chat. Shout out to that brother. My man King Herc in the building. Shout out to everybody. #1 ranked debater in the Versus series, my man Haru Conscious. Shout out everybody. That being said, KOT, time will start when you start talking, bro.
I need to share my screen. Can you hear me?
I got you. Give me 1 second. All right. Let me remove clock so I can get you up. And there we go.
Okay. Okay, family. Now the debate is intelligent design versus Big Bang. Now I showed the definition of intelligent design, which scientists observe the natural world and we deal with biology. I literally went into biology, into the debate, family. But this is one of my scholars I brought up, which is an atheist. Right here, it shows Hoyle form nucleosynthesis, which my brother used for one of his sources. We find out Hoyle, he also is the one that coins the Big Bang. What else Hoyle does? Hoyle tells us by common sense of interpretation of the facts. By going over all the facts of biology and physics and astronomy, we see that there is no blind forces. He tells us that there is a super intellect. Hoyle being an atheist. Remember, he compared it to a tornado sweeping through a junkyard, assembling a 747. That's what the Big Bang's compared to. This guy's an atheist. He's intelligent. And he coined the Big Bang phrase. He believed in intelligent designer. My brother also used him as a source, which he doesn't even agree with my brother. I showed the definition for intelligent design, which deals with biology. I literally went into it, showing you how by the discovery of cells containing nucleic acids that carry information, family. This is not something that comes by natural selection. I showed that. These cells also contain mitochondria where ATP is produced. The complexity of all these parts of the cell is enormous. Lin had suggested that the first protocell simulated these organisms by process of symbiosis. However, these components cannot now exist independently. So what they find out that all these cells and organs had to be produced together inside of us at a certain points in time for us to evolve as we did. So we find out that there had to be an intelligent designer that put these things together. It says, with all the amazingly complex, mutually dependent components, it seems that the cell had to be complete from the beginning, rather than being assembled piecemeal over years of evolution. Because this is what intelligent design goes against. It's evolution. It deals with biology. So I'm dealing with that part of my debate. He don't understand this. And I also went into Big Bang, how the flaws were in it. I showed that we know nothing about dark energy. He couldn't explain it either. Which together make up more than 95% of the total energy in existence today. We don't understand how the universe, protons, electrons, and neutrons could have survived the aftereffect of the Big Bang. Our brother didn't know either. And the facts, everything we know about the laws of physics tells us that these parts have been destroyed by antimatter long ago. Our brother couldn't tell us none of this. Let's go down and tell us, we know next to nothing about this key era of cosmic history when we're dealing with inflation. Our brother don't know nothing about it. They don't know what started the singularity point. Even when I question them in the round, they don't know what comes before. They just make up stuff. Even in his premise, his first round and second round, he never could prove the Big Bang was true. He always proved it's just a theory. He even told you in the question around, it's just a theory. They got no answer for it. He literally said it out of his own mouth. He asked us to my points multiple times, not knowing nothing about the Big Bang. Hallelujah.
That is time. That is time. Family. Both of these brothers put on great debates. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We are about to find out who will be moving on momentarily. So for those who don't know, the Versus series is moving to a new format. We are moving to a new format. We will be having the judges send in their decisions during the live. So we are going to find out who is moving on momentarily. But while you wait, here's another reminder of what's coming up on the weekend of October 3rd.
On October 3rd through October 5th, the entire debate world comes together for 3 nights, 1 platform, 1 spectacle. This is not just another debate event. This is the grandest stage of them all. Debate Mania is the premier event in the debate community, the Super Bowl of intellect, the WrestleMania of words. The brightest minds, the fiercest rivalries, the biggest stakes. Here, champions are made, legacies are written, and only the sharpest minds survive. Debate Mania is the grandest stage of intellect. 2 voices, 2 visions, 1 destiny. For generations, the fight for black liberation has taken many forms. But at Debate Mania, the battle is not fought with fists. It is fought with ideas. In one corner, the pseudo-Hunter Heru conscious, a fearless atheist, a relentless skeptic. He believes Pan-Africanism is an outdated ideology. And at Debate Mania, she plans to prove it. But standing in his way is the champion, the defender of the people, the voice of pride, power, and Pan-African unity. Super Pan-Man, the Pan-African atheist. 2 giants of thought, 2 unstoppable forces, 1 collision that will shake the foundations of the Versus series. This is more than a debate. This is the main event. This is Debate Mania, only on Paradigm Shift TV 314. Be there for this historic 3-night event.
And yeah, family, y'all probably gonna be tired of that promo all the way up until the event takes place. Just letting y'all know that sucker is going to play quite frequently because I want as many of y'all to be in the building as possible. That being said, we are awaiting our judges' decision. Taking a little time for them to type that thing over to me. In the meantime, let me talk to these brothers. My man, Michael Everett. Question. You know Hemi and the steel stiletto herself, our sister Quinn, will be taking place tomorrow. Is there either of them who you'd rather face more than the other, and why?
Oh, bro, man, you trying to put me on the spot, man. You trying to cause some fights.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, you know, I already said that, you know, Quinn was one of my favorites in the series. She has a sharp mind, you know what I'm saying? I love her style. So I really feel like that both of them really are very strong competitors. I mean, Hemi has a really strong record when it comes to debating. And Quinn has a past debating record herself. I mean, she's not just a newcomer. I mean, she's a newcomer to the platform, but she still has some experience in debating. I mean, and she was definitely able to display that during her debate with A1, you know what I'm saying, being able to stand her ground against the veteran in that manner. So I'm gonna have to say both of them are equally terrifying, the face in the matchup when it comes to it. I mean, said both of them have some both of them are really good, you know what I'm saying, really experienced. And I'm gonna have to still go to say the Queen is my favorite though.
Interesting. KOT, same question. Is it either one of those opponents, potential opponents, that you would rather face more than the other?
Well, I think I debated Quinn years in the past. She's pretty good sister. But I don't think she wanted to debate a biblical topic. And I know my brother Hemi, he's on that type of point. I really haven't seen him debate before. I never debated him either, so that would be nice for me to debate him. It'll be my first time debating him. And maybe we can attack a biblical topic. So I would say him due to that standpoint. Not trying to say I want her to lose anything. If you get what I'm saying. She's a good sister and she's a good debater. But I would probably want to face the brother that want to probably go with a biblical topic with me, probably. A big Hemi.
No doubt. All right. Hey, I think it's going to be a powerful situation either way. I think that both of you brothers will pose interesting challenges to either of them. So it's going to be interesting to see which one of y'all make it out of this contest, as well as which one of them make it out of theirs. My brother Michael Everett, I got to ask you, I know you say you going for Quinn, but who do you think will win? Not who you going for, but who do you actually think will win?
Oh man, see, you trying to cause me to spill blood around here.
Hey man, blood on the floor, blood on the walls, blood on the door, the windows, you know what I mean?
Man, you know, I really like the topic that they have. I think it's going to be a really interesting discussion. I want to see what they're going to be bringing to the table when it comes to their presentation, especially how that Q&A round goes. You know, I'm expecting Quinn to, you know what I'm saying, keep doing what she do and hold her own. But I expect Hemi, you know what I'm saying, to kind of put the pressure on her and just kind of be relentless. So, man, that's kind of a tough one to call, but I think it's just going to be a great matchup to watch.
Indeed. I like how you being politically correct too. I like how you being politically correct. Don't think I missed it. Shout out to our brother Michael Everett, the politician. KOT, same question. Not who would you rather face, but who you actually think is gonna pull this thing out.
Well, I never see that brother debate, so I really can't say on his end what he'll do. So I know it's kind of gonna be kind of hard for me to say. You know, I'll be biased if I just say her because I seen her debate. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
But I don't know. That's why, because I never seen him debate, so I really can't say what he would do. You know.
Okay, understood. I thought you might have been a little more familiar with brother Hemi, but you know, like you said, you can't really say if you haven't seen him debate. So, man, I think it's gonna be epic. They happen to be two of my favorites in the series. No bias in who I think gonna take it, but I do think it's gonna be a powerful contest. Really looking forward to that thing. It's gonna be interesting to see how that shake out. And I kind of feel like the brother Hemi got a little bit under our sister's skin last week. And so I want to see how she come back with that rage in effect. Is the rage gonna throw her off? or is it gonna propel her and motivate her to step on Hemi with those steel stilettos? I think we'll find out either way come tomorrow, but it's definitely gonna be interesting. Let me see if our judges have given their decisions. And right now, man, they really sending straight up 2 paragraphs and whatnot. All right, this is judge number 1. Michael Everett. He was for the Big Bang Theory in his opening. He gave definitions, but didn't give any substance for his debate. What it was going to be about around one things. Hold up, let me make sure I'm reading this right. What it was going to be about around one things were hard to follow. End up agreeing with his opponent. He started his premise off with more definitions, and it seemed to be unorganized and pointless. He gave countless ancient theories of our life, was created, but didn't go into depth on what the Big Bang Theory is. He doesn't have any credible sources. He conceded his last 2 minutes around 2 and talked about creation being accidental. Still seemed to be a pointless round in the Q&A. He was talking over KOT a lot and talked about the designer instead of staying on topic about intelligent design. I think Mike lost because it was very unorganized and it was so hard to follow. KOT was for intelligent design. He has several credible sources, clearly giving his argument a strong foundation, showed how cells carry intelligence, were not created through time and space, still giving a clear debate by citing several sources that could be fact-checked, and explains how ID is stronger, or intelligent design is stronger than the Big Bang Theory. In round 2, he exposed Mike's Black, I don't know what that is, presentation and dismantled the Big Bang Theory. He had several sources on the Big Bang, on how the Big Bang was not possible. There was multiple because no one had knowledge of a singular happening. Talked about Down syndrome not being inherited because it couldn't be traced back to natural selection. The Q&A round, I guess they meant he's the one who gave very clear questions that didn't have very clear answers in his closing argument. He stated his debate disproves my theory, discounting how dark matter is unknown and unexplainable. KOT had a strong debate. I think KOT won. That was judge number 1. We still have to get the verdict from judge number 2. Now, for those who don't know how this thing in the Versus series works, if both judges are unanimous in who they think won, then it is a unanimous decision. If they disagree in saying who won, we will go to a third judge. So please forgive my reading. I think they probably were a little rushed, and so, or it could just be my reading is off. But either way, they decided for KOT. So KOT has one judge. As soon as we get our second judge's decision, we will give you that info and let you know if this thing is unanimous or if we have to go to the tiebreaker. Any thoughts on what the first judge said? We'll start with our brother, Michael Everett.
Oh, I was just kind of confused that listening to that, wondering when I even made any statements about a creator seeing that I pretty much stuck to my presentation. And definitely refused to answer answers about creation because that wasn't part of my presentation. But that's how it rolls. So I'll take it how it is. I just wait for the other decisions to come in.
Let me read that part again, just to make sure it's coherent. He was for the Big Bang Theory, and his opening gave definitions, but didn't give any substance for his debate. What it was going to be about around one things were hard to follow, end up agreeing with his opponent. He started his premise off with more definitions, and it seemed to be unorganized and pointless. He gave countless ancient theories of our life, was created, but doesn't go into depth on what the Big Bang Theory is. He doesn't have any credible sources. He conceded his last 2 rounds. He conceded his last 2 minutes. Around 2, he talked about creation being accidental, still seemed to be a pointless round. The Q&A, he was talking over KOT a lot. Talked about it's just the way they typed it. I'm like, all right. But
Yeah.
I mean, I hope you did.
I never said anything about creation being an accident. Only thing I did was explain the Big Bang model during the second part of my presentation. So, hey, I take it for what it is. But that's definitely what took place in my presentation. I didn't mention anything about a creation intelligent design or anything, or it being accidental. Didn't even bring up biology. That was not part of my presentation at all.
No doubt. KOT, what did you think of Judge number 1's decision?
Well, I think they actually did follow the debate because that's what my brother did. He did bring sources, but never went into depth of any of the sources. That is true because I was waiting on that so I can rebut any of the when he goes in depth. That is true. So I see they did follow the debate, and he did try to push it into a religious standpoint. I kept saying that. He kept trying to make it into God. He kept trying to make me put a God out there. Even in his premise, he brought up gods of cultures being a part of a Big Bang. So they followed.
No, I just brought up the cosmic egg theory.
Hold on. Here,
So I'm gonna come back to you, Mike. I'm gonna come back to you. This right now. This on KOT.
Yeah, I just want to say, but I'm not being biased or anything. But that's what I followed during the debate. He was doing that. He actually assessed certain of my points. Like he kept doing it. But like they followed the debate because that's literally what the brother was. He did have sources, but he didn't go in depth. That's what I seen that, observed that, and they observed it also, as I see. And what else? He tried to make it religious. There's one more thing I was gonna say. I think I forgot. But
when did I talk about religion during the Q&A when I asked you questions about?
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say before I ended. You said when I asked you about did we have a purpose and all that such, being a question Big Bang come about by accident. You said yeah, and that's what they observed also. I realized that because I didn't. Question.
I never said it
came about by accident. That's what your answer.
I never said life came about by accident or we came about by accident.
You don't remember the question?
All right, we got the judgment for Judge number 2. Judge number 2. Hey, shout out to these judges, man. They really. Hey, this judge actually sent an actual Word document. Like they really paid attention and took notes. Shout out to both of them. And maybe in the future, what I'll do is just make it mandatory that they actually send a Word document. That way I can just click on that link and read it from there. And maybe it'll give them an opportunity to be a bit more coherent, because I think trying to type it in a text, and you know how I go with text, autocorrect and all of that stuff, especially when you're trying to go fast. But I think the way this judge number 2 sent their stuff is very, very clear. Intelligent design versus the Big Bang. KOT round 1. Michael Everett. So Big Bang is referenced in various oratory and myth, ancient beliefs, substantiated by the Bible, in the dark, couldn't say words in laying down the premise. Conceded time, 2 minutes, deduction, unpreparedness. No one gave laws. Quantum energy, nothing beyond energy. Theory argues Big Bang is intelligent theory. KOT, round 2. Opponent brought up gods and is laying down of a Big Bang. Hindu, etc., believe in gods. What is the power behind intelligent design? Not identified. Opponent claims that the Earth is part of a continuous Big Bang. Opponent should pivot to Ice Age and evidence of Earth's rebirthing itself. There's an intelligence behind the cause. What evidence of intelligence do you have? Patterns, mathematical, science, laws, spiritual laws could provide proof. Opponent should pivot. So they're just giving, they took extensive notes. What's the beginning of intelligent design? Argument, there is intelligence behind our existence. How does the Big Bang happen from singularity? Michael Everett, cosmic microwave background radiation using this energy. Man, they gave a lot of notes. Okay. Let me go down to the judgment, because if I read the rest of this, we will be here all night. So the judgment goes to, and who will be moving on in the social media title tournament for opening night at the first ever Debate Mania here on Paradigm Shift TV 314, provided and presented by the Versus Series. Judgment goes to KOT. No explanation of the Big Bang and sources of energy that would cause such a thing. Opponent used mythos to back up Big Bang, mythos that included the intelligence of gods who created such a belief. Both could have done better proving points, but one started with a defined source, the other did not. And so our winner, moving on to Debate Mania, is our brother, KOT. And I just gotta say, shout out to our brother, Michael Everett. Powerful. I think the judges may have judged the brother a little bit harshly on the technical difficulties, it seems. But I can't speak to that per se, but I think the brother rebounded from that pretty well. Michael Everett, what are your thoughts on what you heard from the judges in terms of why they felt you came up short?
Hey, man, it is what it is, man. A little bit disappointed, but, that just means I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board, do a little bit of work, you know what I'm saying? So next time I feel like I'll be a little bit more prepared, you know what I'm saying, when I hit the stage. That's all to it.
No doubt, no doubt. And for those who don't know, Michael Everett is ranked number 3 in the Versus Series Top 10. The September Top 10 will be coming out very soon. Gonna try to get that to y'all this upcoming Monday. See if Mike moves up or down. See if KOT slides in that top 10. Again, powerful debate from our brother Michael Everett. Again, one of the most loyal soldiers in the Versus Series. And just a FYI. Now, Super Pan Man, the undefeated, reigning Versus Series champion, has his hands full with our brother Haru Conscious at Debate Mania. He will then have his hands full with the winner of the Biblical Barbarian versus Lucifer, the devil, as they battle to see who will get the title shot in November's Battle of the Ideologies event. That's right. We're doing another event in November. It won't be a 3-day affair. We just gonna have either back-to-back debates on Saturday and Sunday, or we may do 2 in one day. But Battle of the Ideologies is coming in November. Pan will be defending, or Haru will be defending against either Hemi or Lucifer. But we may see something between Pan and our brother Michael Everett before that, because the champ personally told me he wants to smoke with our brother Michael Everett. In other words, Michael Everett ain't going nowhere no time soon. So y'all be on the lookout for this brother. Brother, I appreciate you. KOT, what did you think?
Peace, brother DMG. Well, I think that was on point, because I know that I compiled a lot of information. I should have broke it down and stick to certain points of it, so I can, express my point more and better, so that the audience will understand what I'm saying even better. You get what I'm saying? So I do get what they were saying. And my brother, he's a good debater. But if he would have went in depth scientifically, he just brought up the sources. That's what he would have had a more stronghold on. But he didn't go in depth of it, even though he wouldn't able to give the answers to what I asked him, because science don't have the answers to it. That's a fact already. That's not a theory, what I'm saying. And he knows that. But he did a good job, though. I wouldn't say I'm not beat him up, hit him in the head. He actually is a good debater. The brother is a good debater. He actually was trying to argue stuff he heard probably from other people. That's why he brought eyes and added the mythology. See, we're arguing scientific, because I deal with science also. I'm not against the way evolution comes about to a certain sense. I don't believe it comes from a monkey. I believe it's another way we came about. But I actually deal with a lot of these things. I deal with partially of what the Big Bang teaches, but I deal with there's intelligence behind it. The problem with the Big Bang, he's teaching there's no intelligence behind it, and he can't give us a beginning of it, and that's the problem there. But he is actually a good debater. But I knew upon that topic there was no answer for those questions. But the judges did do a good job on paying attention and following along with the debate. I did mess up a little bit, and I do understand that from what Judge number 2 was saying. But peace and blessings to my brother. And peace and blessings to the audience for coming through.
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. And again, our brother KOT will be moving on. Our brother Michael Everett will be sticking around, but in terms of the social media title tournament, he will not be moving on. Ladies and gentlemen, this tournament is not complete. We still have a match coming up, and y'all better get ready for this one, because it is going to be something special. Shout out to both of these powerful debaters who will be going at it come tomorrow. This is what it's all about. 9/14 at 6:15 Central Time. The social media tournament semifinals continue. Is it better for Black students to attend HBCUs or integrate into PWIs for long-term success? The steel stiletto herself, the enigmatic queen, will be taking on the biblical barbarian, Big Hemi. And listen, one of these individuals will have our brother KOT waiting for them at Debate Mania. So this is where we at, family. Salute to all the participants in this powerful tournament. We will finally be getting a social media champion crown. We appreciate y'all being with us. Let me know in the chat how y'all feel about the real-time judgments as opposed to finding out days later. Shout out to my consultant. Yes, I did get a consultant to try to get us how to move this thing forward in a powerful and positive way. That was one of the suggestions the brother had for me. Real-time judgments. Don't make these debaters wait with all that anxiety for the Aftermath show. The Aftermath show will be to review the results of the weekend's festivities, as we're going to try to bring y'all these type of debates, at least one every weekend, possibly two. Y'all know what it is. This is a professional debate league, standard debates. Each participant gets $50. World title and social media title debates, the defending champ gets $100. Challenger gets $50. This is the social media title tournament. So to the winner will go the spoils in this one, because the winner of the tournament will get $100, which is essentially what they would have got if these were standard debates. But that's only because this is a tournament. Once a champion is crowned, the champion will receive $100 whenever they defend, and their opponents will receive $50. So, as you know, putting on two debates every weekend could get a little costly. So, if you so inclined, hit me up and I will tell you how to donate to the platform. As y'all know, a hater got my Cash App shut down, but I do have Zelle and Venmo, and I'll get y'all the information on how to donate if you are so inclined. In the meantime, in between time, KOT is moving on. Our brother Michael Everett is still a top 10 debater in the Versus series, so we're going to see where the future takes him. Any last words? We'll start with our brother Michael Everett.
Once again, I just want to say appreciate everyone for coming out tonight, man. I hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. And you know what I'm saying, like you said, you know what I'm saying, I'll be back soon. Gonna work on some things, and hopefully, you know what I'm saying, I'll be able to toughen up and get right back on in this thing. So got some more things coming.
There it is. There it is. Shout out to our brother, one of the Versus series best. Shout out to Mama B. I saw the interview on Debate Center with you and Rocky. Didn't know Mama B was the one who got you involved in this thing. Shout out to the godmother of Paradigm Shift TV and the Versus series, Mama B, Barbara Cunningham, for getting you involved in this thing. She didn't have many positive effects on the Versus series. I think getting you involved was probably top 5. So appreciate that. KOT, you are moving on in this thing, brother. How you feel?
I feel good. I thank the audience, thank the DMG, peace and blessings, brother. Thank the judges. You know, they observed, they actually doing their job, and I see they're doing a good job. And I thanks my brother for debating. He actually got good potential. He's a good debater. So I don't want people to think, whoa, nah, this brother actually a good debater. He just didn't know what I was coming with. He think I'm coming with a religious mind, but I'm also scientific. So I don't just deal with religion, because even as the atheist I brought up for Hoyle, he's an atheist, but he believes in intelligence behind the universe and design. That don't mean you have to believe in the God of the Bible, the God of Egypt, or anything. But he knows that there's intelligence that brought forth life, formed these organisms, and gave them their tasks. That's how we can function the way we do and interact together, to have order, law, knowledge, to love one another. That takes intelligence. They don't just come about by natural selection. And that comes about by Big Bang, because Big Bang actually goes into Big Bang biology, which deals with evolution when you get into the Permian period. That's where Darwinism comes in. It actually literally connects from that period. So they don't actually separate if you actually do the science. The doctrine separates. That's it. But I think I thank the family for coming out. Peace to my brother, Anonymous Hebrew. Peace to my brother, Yermai Yahoo. Peace to all the family that came out. And hallelujah. And I'm looking forward to see this debate. I know it's gonna be fire, because I know how the sister debate. She's very knowledgeable and intelligent. And I know this brother, I heard him when he was on last time, when they was getting ready to, you know, get that debate title. He sounds like he got some fire to bring. So I'm ready to see that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's gonna be a powerful one. That is tomorrow at 6:15 p.m. Central Time. Big Emmy, the biblical barbarian, our sister, the steel stiletto, the enigmatic queen. Is it better for Black students to attend HBCUs or integrate into PWIs for long-term success? Powerful contest coming up. After tomorrow, social media title final will be set for Debate Mania on October 3rd, kicking off a historic weekend here on Paradigm Shift TV 314. And listen, family, I got a little bit of breaking news that may impact that November Battle of the Ideologies event. Listen, this is just in. The Slim Reaper, death incarnate to haters of the Bible, has just messaged me that he wants to challenge the one and only Anonymous Hebrew. The challenge is whether Black people are the real Israelites. Listen, I don't know what Anonymous Hebrew gonna say. I don't know what he wanna do, but that would have to be a battle of the ideology situation. Slim Reaper has laid down the gauntlet. He want a piece of the Anonymous Hebrew. Pause. I'ma holler at the Anonymous Hebrew behind the scenes. We gonna see what's up. Slim Reaper want the smoke. The Versus series is live in 2025, family. Congratulations to KOT. Shout out to my brother Michael Everett. Hey, y'all, the Versus series is live in 2025. Don't y'all forget, be back here tomorrow at 6:15 p.m. The social media tournament final will be set one way or another. Y'all come Black and join us. Until next time, that's peace. We are out of here. Salute.
On October 3rd through October 5th, the entire debate world comes together for 3 nights, 1 platform, 1 spectacle. This is not just another debate event. This is the grandest stage of them all. Debate Mania is the premier event in the debate community, the Super Bowl of intellect, the WrestleMania of words. The brightest minds, the fiercest rivalries, the biggest stakes. Here, champions are made, legacies are written, and only the sharpest minds survive. Debate Mania is the grandest stage of intellect. 2 voices, 2 visions, 1 destiny. For generations, the fight for Black liberation has taken many forms. But at Debate Mania, the battle is not fought with fists. It is fought with ideas. In one corner, the pseudo-Hunter Heru conscious, a fearless atheist, a relentless skeptic. He believes Pan-Africanism is an outdated ideology. And at Debate Mania, she plans to prove it. But standing in his way is the champion, the defender of the people, the voice of pride, power, and Pan-African unity. Super Pan Man, the Pan-African atheist. 2 giants of thought, 2 unstoppable forces, 1 collision that will shake the foundations of the Versus series. This is more than a debate. This is the main event. This is Debate Mania, only on Paradigm Shift TV 314. Be there for this historic 3-night event.